esigika ey'okutereka n'okukozesa ssente. Genda ku Google Play oba App Store oteeke Wendi app ku ssimu yo oba nyiga *229# oteeke ssente w'olaba ate mwattu zikukolera amagoba buli lunaku. Wendi wonna w'oli.
Join us live on YouTube, Galaxy FM/TV. Pam.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Well, today is the World Ombudsman Day. Ombudsman Day.
What's that? I'm lost.
You've heard of the IG being called Ombudsman. These are people who are supposed to check violation of human rights, check issues of public servants and how they are dealing issues of corruption.
They're called ombudsmen.
Yes, Ombudsman.
Oh, pronounce it well. Like
Ombudsman.
Take me slow. Ombuds.
Yeah, Ombudsman.
Ombuds.
Yeah.
Is that like a short form of something, or that's actually a word? Ombuds.
It's a word, and it is celebrated internationally.
Let me use chat
O-M.
GPT. O-M.
U-D.
O-M-U.
Actually, it's O-B-U-S-U-D.
Start from O, the first one.
Ombudsman.
O.
O-B.
O-B.
U-D.
O-B.
U-D.
U-D.
S-M-A.
S-M-A.
Ombudsman.
Ombudsman. Meaning, this word means an official who is officially appointed to investigate. Oh, yeah, I get it. Wow. Okay.
They're supposed to put in check
Yes.
mostly the government officials, and that is their role. And she says that in Uganda,
Yes.
as compared to other countries, the ombudsman, or the role of the ombudsman, is with the Inspector General of Government.
Yes.
In other countries, they have a particular office that has to deal with that role.
Yes.
But here in Uganda, it's that one, and she quotes sections of the Constitution, 225(1) of the Constitution, and
Yes.
also the IG Act that mandates them to eliminate corruption,
Yeah.
to check public servants, to mediate between public servants and the public, and
Yes.
other roles of the ombudsman are access, to ensure there's access to quality and safe delivery of services for people. And she's giving a report. Currently, she's giving a report on some of the achievements that they have had as the Office of the Inspector of Government. That is for the financial year 2023-2024. First, before I take you to some of the achievements that she has made, she was speaking about Ugandans to be aware of their power, or the power that they possess when it comes to seeking services from government offices. For long, it has been the other way around, that you feel like the public servant is the boss. When you walk into his office, he can see you at leisure, at his own leisure, or probably at his own time.
Some dude can give you an appointment at 8 and he sees you at 8 p.m. when you give you an appointment.
Choka, you have traveled over from where you have wasted your transport. So she's saying, I'm reiterating the statement I made last year, that citizens should not take crap from public servants.
Ugandan citizens should not take crap from public officers. You go to an office and the officer is there reading his papers and swinging in his chair and having his tea. You have waited for 2 days, then he leaves his coat on the chair, and then he says, I'm going out, you come back tomorrow. You have traveled all the way from Kabale to come for your certificate of title. You closed your shop, you are not on your farm, you spent money for transport, you are sleeping in a hotel. He's not counting all that because he's a big boss, and his secretary is saying, the boss will not see you. You're not the boss. You are the taxpayer. You are the boss, and you are entitled to respectful service from government institutions. And Ugandans should know this and not take crap anymore from public officers.
But the secretaries, do you know them?
Hey.
You can literally be seeing the boss there taking a cup of tea, watching like TikTok, and you banange naze kulaba musajja ono, naze kulaba mukyalo ono, oyina appointment. Meanwhile, here's the funny thing. Some of those secretaries, OPS, are busier than their bosses. They make it feel like they are bigger than their bosses. Do you know how many files, how many opportunities have been wasted because of secretaries and front desk people? You reach like Tojamulabo in an appointment. But you
sometimes
don't even know. You don't even know. Wait, people
off.
bounce people's mothers, people bounce people's wives, people bounce people's
because they have their own personal issues.
That they don't know. They don't know. Man,
yeah, but sometimes also
yes,
the bosses also have a problem, and it's worse if you have a bad receptionist and the secretary or PA at the same time have a very clumsy boss.
Yes.
Oh, that
you are a mayor Gomborora chief.
Because
why do you have 9 secretaries? You have to see one at the gate, then one in the corridor, then
no, government doesn't operate that way. You can't find someone with 9 secretaries.
We're going to take you somewhere. We're going to take you
where there are 9 secretaries. No, maybe.
First of all, to get an appointment, you first call like 10 people. If you don't have like a direct gamba no go.
True, but that
and
doesn't
those
mean
people
all
you're
those
calling.
people are secretaries.
You know, to give you a number, they first say so cause even I this can.
But then people have to know that one of the roles of the IG is to report such officials. If you feel like you have gone constantly to an office of an RDC and you have an appointment, or you have gone constantly to the office of a cow and you have an appointment and you have been, disappointed several times, given appointments to come today, then you go the next day, there's no one. You have the right to go and report to the IG and say, I am being frustrated by Gundi. I have come several times to seek my pension. I've come several times to do this, and I have not been attended to. And the IG will respond.
There's something that happened to me a couple of months ago, this very year. This was not in a public office. Sadly, this was in a private office. Not even a private office, it's a bank.
Okay.
Like a bank. I think I told you this story.
Yeah.
So
where you stood in a queue for a long time, and when it was your turn.
Time off work. I go because I have payments that are supposed to come through a certain bank. So I go, I open up an account. They send me to, these agents that open accounts. And then they're like, you can
the
go.
teller?
No, the agents.
Okay.
Outside.
Oh, outside the
in
bank.
In a tent.
Yes,
next to a woman selling menvu. So we sit, we jazz, they open up my account, I get the account number, it's activated, and then I'm supposed to go and do
a deposit.
Biometrics.
Okay.
These days you do biometrics. So take and then I'm also supposed to get the ATM card. So I reached the banking hall.
What happened?
There were like 9 queues. One is going the other side, one the other side, one the other side. So they direct me to the queue I'm supposed to go to.
And this long line.
There is something that is very inconveniencing with people like us who have some little bit of face value when it comes to such situations. You're there queuing up in the line, someone is coming, they are taking a selfie. Someone's kid is looking at you like this, like until the one we see on TV, and then other people, and then there's a lot of confusion. You're in a situation of mvadiwano. You try to even talk to people, but then you want to be a responsible citizen. So I queue up painfully. I wait for like 40 minutes, 50 minutes, close to an hour, my turn reaches. I'll never forget that girl. And that branch is here in Kabalagala. It's not very far. I reached the girl. It was my turn. Do you know what she told me?
I'm waiting for lunch. Hold on.
Thank you. After queuing, she's like, it's my lunch time. Please wait.
You must have offended that chick somewhere, somehow. Being a public figure. Maybe she was like, but that Henry there.
I don't think. Because she had a personal vendetta against me.
Yeah, vendetta. Because then, how?
Like, okay, all the people you've worked
with,
you
were you the last on the line?
There were like 30 other
others.
People behind me. There was another guy.
Okay, maybe it was not personal.
Called Nelly Baba.
Yeah.
For him, he got pissed and walked out. It was like, this is too much.
Yeah.
Me, I kept my composure. I looked at this girl tell me, it's my lunch break. You have to give me like 30 minutes.
What?
At least if she had said like 5. 30 minutes.
But then why don't they always have an alternative person to sit in? For instance, if I am going out for 30 minutes, there has to be some, because work has to continue. People have other things to do.
You see how you sit like in the newsroom, yeah?
Yeah.
There's like a cubicle here. So this was like a cubicle.
Yeah.
And then there was a guy next to her. Meanwhile, all the time they're working on us, they are banging Chibozi of something that probably happened to like their friend. Hey, hey, that's okay. It's okay. I understand. So when she
Though you
stood
can
up,
make mistakes, you have to be an expert.
I asked the next guy, can you please
Yeah.
help and work on us? Like, oh, you know, Kulindo. That day, I went to the person that was supposed to send me money. I said, let's find an alternative account. Wano chiganye.
And
After
you've
giving-
never gone back.
Oh my God.
Imagine how
Even
for
if
these
I had-
customers, just like that.
Chikumi.
Hey.
100, yeah? Because our camera
Shillings.
starts from Atano, then Chikumi. I would have withdrawn it.
Hey,
I
not
am-
possible
That's
though.
how
but
mad I was. Oh, la 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 la.
Yeah,
la.
but it's so disappointing.
We understand where the IGP is coming from with that IGP, but then for
Purposes.
no, for private,
Yeah.
not public, for private offices. Where do we go with such complaints? Do you vent on X? Do you put them on TikTok? Because
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to be the kind of person who is calling head office.
Auntie,
to
but
report.
then they have those options,
Yes.
customer care helplines, which is also have some of them have issues because the
Yes.
customer care guys also
Yeah.
are negligent somehow in some companies. But then for them they have those options that you
Yes.
can always complain via this channel and this channel and. Yeah, maybe you'll go to the boss and
Yes.
complain about this person, but also getting access to the boss is something else.
I know.
So, but then the advantage with private companies that there are options.
Yes.
So just like you said, I couldn't stand going to this place, so I
Yes.
decided to seek
Yes.
an alternative.
Yeah.
So the advantage is if this is not working, go somewhere else and get the service you need.
Now, as I conclude that
Hey.
story, there's, Centenary Bank,
Yeah.
Kabalagala branch. Now, those guys, every time I go there, they take me to their VIP executive lounge. They give you tea, they give you bananas. For them, they treat they treat
Like
me
a
like a
king.
star. Banangi. Oh, I don't even know. Anyhow, away from that, what else do we have?
Away from that, still,
Yes.
but I just told you some of the achievements.
Yeah.
She was quoting from 2023-2024
Oh, yeah.
financial year, where she said that they have as a ombudsman, let me just say, as the IG, they have handled several cases
Yes.
when it comes to ministries, agencies, and departments.
Yeah.
When it comes to local governments, they have handled over 636 cases.
Oh, yeah.
135 of these cases were resolved in local governments, and
Yeah.
some of them with NDAs, non-disclosure agreements.
Yeah.
And then there are others, about 500 others that
Yes.
were handled still in local governments, but through local courts and all that. So she's explaining there.
136 ombuds cases in MDAs and local governments. Out of these, 135 cases were resolved in MDA, while 501 cases were resolved in local governments. Remember, we told you pensioners' issues, harassment, sexual harassment, and other forms of harassment.
100.2.
So you had
yes.
some of the cases of sexual harassment, some of the cases of pensioners
Yes.
who have delayed to get their pension. So yeah, that's exactly what she's talking about there. And she also saying that about 9 trillion has
Yeah.
been paid back to people in terms of compensation, people who have been frustrated. That is in the financial year,
Yeah.
2024, 2023, 2024, which
Oh, yeah.
seems to be some sort of good work being done.
She's doing a good job.
Yeah.
100.2. More stories are on our website on www.galaxyfm.co.uk. As we conclude,
Well, today is World Mental Day. It is
Yeah.
celebrated across the world,
Yeah.
and it looks at issues of
Mental health,
issues,
yes.
mental health issues. And the theme for this year is mental health or mental health at work. Yeah, mental health at work, because very many people go to workplaces, they are mentally disturbed.
Yes.
Sometimes you're undergoing domestic violence at home. You have to report to work. You're not stable. Sometimes your bosses are not treating you well. Other times it's just the harassment that we just talked about. Someone is sexually harassing you at work and you don't have a proper channel
Yes.
of communication. So people should the call is for offices or workplaces to take serious consideration for workers and their mental issues.
Yeah.
You see me here, I
Yes.
come, you notice I'm probably not performing as well as I should.
You withdraw
but you
from
get
people,
harder
you're not
on
eating
me.
lunch with us.
You get harder on me
Yes,
as
yeah.
a boss, and you're saying,
Yeah.
I need you to meet these timelines, I need you to perform better. But you don't know that there's actually a social matter that
yeah.
I'm dealing with. So if you knew, or if you handled it a little bit differently,
Yeah.
then it would work.
Yeah.
I've seen, in Western countries, people have counselors in offices. There's just
wow.
a particular office designated for a counselor where you go maybe once a week and vent out your issues so that you will perform properly. So
yeah.
people go there and say, maybe I'm dealing with this, and somebody gives you the right advice, and then you perform better.
People are not okay. Now, some of us who counsel people
Yeah.
when it comes to relationship issues, someone can call you and engage you for like 2 hours when they're not saying anything. Like they are going around blabbering, just venting. Can you imagine the other day I bought her shoes, then I bought her a watch, and then I found missed calls from this guy.
So what happened? Like
you
what
just listen.
exactly? Yeah.
People just need an ear.
Yeah.
People just want to vent. People just want to let things that are paining them
And
out.
the Ubos report shows that
Yes.
more women are mentally disturbed than men. This is a 2024 report that has since been taken down. They were saying 18.9% of women are mentally ill, and 17.8% of men are mentally ill.
The difference is 4.
Yes, but
0.04%.
still, women are more mentally disturbed than men.
Fam,
so
if you're
what
the
are
one
those
winning the
factors?
bread at home, and you know you have like 3 children there, plus their father, you don't know what they're going to eat. That is real mental
If
illness.
the father has not left what do they call it?
The kameza money.
Kameza money. That one also can cause mental,
Imagine if things
mental
were the other way
instability
around.
somehow.
If things were the other way around, guy, you're the one who's supposed to be living kameza money.
I think it depends on the kind of woman and what she considers, because there's a certain level where you reach and you feel like this is now my family. So this is now my priority, and my focus should be on the well-being. But there has to be a reason why the woman is living kameza. Something maybe should have happened. Something went wrong somewhere, and she's supposed to stand in the gap for the man for that particular time. But if it is from beginning to end of time, then there's a problem.
Imagine
No,
you were
no, no,
Indian.
no. If I were Indian, then I would do what Indians do.
Do you know what they do?
They marry the men,
Thank
they
you.
pay the bride price.
So you'd come to me and say, Henry, what I
If
want?
I were Indian,
Can you be my husband? And
no,
I tell you,
they don't.
no.
They don't vibe the men.
Eh.
The men vibe them, and then they pay the dowry.
Wow.
What?
So you'd come to like my parents and say,
No, Henry,
"Bam,
you go
babe."
to the chick and vibe her.
Eh, that's
then
okay.
she's the one that pays your dowry.
Ooh
It's
la
not the,
la.
she's not the one who comes to you and says, I like you, Henry.
Okay. But
Is it
still,
like that?
she has a sort of dowry.
Hey.
So imagine, Pamela, you're coming to our home in Barara. And we tell you we need
but
like,
I think it's smart, Henry.
it is smart.
It's kind of smart if you look at it the other way. You see in most cases where men have paid dowry for women, they have considered them as property. Nakusasulida.
So
You know, I've
women
paid
who
for
have
you.
paid dowry
So
for
when a
men
woman,
in India, the
she
Indians,
has an upper hand, kind of like,
I'm
man,
going to
I
show
paid
you
for you.
documentaries
Don't show me.
where Indian men are thrown out of houses by women.
This is the mid-morning Tukone 100.2 Jikonkone Galaxy FM
It is 24 minutes after
Galaxy TV Jikonkone Galaxy TV Jikonkone Galaxy TV Jikonkone Galaxy TV